How you doing?
He likes Wendy Williams.
How you doing?
Good morning, everybody.
How you doing?
Like I said, we are going to talk about we enjoyed the festivities and the celebration. It was just the trip to New York that did it. Hit it, Dad.
Unless you really, really have to drive to New York, I mean, really, 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 really have to drive to New York, or unless you're a masochist, uh, I would never drive to New York City from any state ever because while the city itself is a wonderful place to be, I mean, the opportunities and enticements and enjoyment, entertainment is endless. Getting to New York City, other than by train or public transportation, is the worst experience ever. And don't let anybody tell you anything differently. I mean, don't let any New Yorker tell you that, oh, no, it's
No.
horrible. Tunnels and bridges are always in disrepair. So there's always delays and long lines. You got 4 or 5 lanes being squeezed into two, and traffic is usually a nightmare any time of day. The fact that they raised all the tolls on all the bridges and tunnels is just absolutely ridiculous. It costs you $13 to get into the city and $15 to get out of the city.
It costs more to get out. I like.
And see, once you get in, they punish you. Say, now you want to leave? Yeah, I'm going to charge you extra money to get out. Yeah, yeah,
But it'll
yeah.
cost you $2 to get out.
I mean, forget the fact that driving in the city is horrible because the streets are always crowded with people and with construction. Um,
And traffic and tourists.
as great a city as it is in terms of being a world class city, getting to and from it and through it in terms of driving is a horrible, horrible experience. I would not wish that on anybody.
That's why whenever I show you guys of me going into the city, I'm always on a train. I wouldn't drive into the city anyway. I've learned that since day one. You never drive into the city unless you're going through the city to go someplace else. But usually you're not in the city to go anywhere around the city. You're usually going on the highway around that part of the
And
city.
95 is a bypass for New
Yeah.
York City. I
Eh,
mean,
eh,
it
eh.
takes you through the various boroughs, but it doesn't take you into the inner city workings, the local streets. Do not drive to New York City where you have to cross a bridge or go through a tunnel. It is ridiculous. And you'll listen to the weather and the traffic on CBS or WINS or whatever station is broadcasting,
In your
weather and
area.
traffic. And sometimes you'll get
This
good
is
reports.
all
They'll tell you
our
that there's a
area.
blockage here. There's a
Tri-state.
there's a repair plate off of a hole, or there's a blown man cover, or a building collapsed, or something just doesn't happen anywhere else in the world. Happens in New York City.
Political sighting or
Do
something.
not drive across a bridge or through a tunnel in New York City unless you have a lot of money because it's ridiculous. Well, in any place you have to go, you pay more to get out than you got in. You know there's a problem.
It's a walking city, because honestly, and there's tourists everywhere.
And walking is a great experience in your city. I mean, don't get me
I
wrong.
love it.
I love the city. It's a great place.
No, it is.
It's a great place. Theaters, just the history, the feel,
Everybody walks in the city.
it's a beautiful place. It's a
Everybody.
beautiful place. Restaurants, it's buildings. It's magnificent.
Everything
Just
is
don't drive there.
everywhere.
That's all.
But other than that, we had a great time. It was the trip going. And it wasn't just so much New York City, it was just the complications of the day, of getting around that really just.
And to be fair, it's not just the bridges and tunnels in New York City. It's the access roads to those bridges and tunnels, because of the backflow of traffic in the towns where those arteries leading to the bridges and tunnels are. They're just as bad in terms of construction and growth and overcrowding. I mean, Fort Lee is sometimes a horrible place to be, not because it's a bad city, because of the traffic going into New York City across the George Washington Bridge. Um, Jersey City, Weehawken, all those places that, take you to a bridge or a tunnel.
Just warned from
Wow.
traffic. Warned from traffic.
Worn out from traffic.
Everybody goes those takes those paths to get into the city. And if you are anywhere near where we are, we're in Jersey, which is right next door to New York in the sense of we're the state right next to it. So people usually live here or live, not, I mean, here in New Jersey and then go and work in New York and then come back home. Or the majority of people take the park and ride, which is a system where you drive from your house to a
Public
local
transportation.
like bus depot and park your car there so you don't drive into the city and everybody just takes a big bus, one bus into the city, which takes forever.
Now, if you're going into the city, that word she just mentioned, parking spots are non-existent, and parking in a lot.
They take advantage. They know
Take out a loan to park your car
on your
in the city.
house.
Anyway, other than that, the city is a great place. One of the greatest places you ever want to be.
It is a great city, but we recommend do not drive into the city.
Not to mention the fact that the drivers in the city are crazy.
Well, there's that too. Because people will just drive and they don't care. Everybody's in a rush. Rather than leave early so you can get there, they'll leave right then and there. And they don't
Sometimes they think about stopping at a stoplight.
care.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yield, that word doesn't exist in their vocabulary, so.
I remember one time I was in school and there was a lot of traffic. Now we're talking like the late 80s. There was this big traffic. There was an ambulance waiting. I mean, he must have waited like 5-10 minutes just to get from one spot. We're talking like downtown the 28th to get to a local hospital. That must have taken about 10-15 minutes just to move. And I'm sitting there going, there's a life in there. And traffic wouldn't even move. Would not even move. Whereas any other state, an ambulance, you veer right out of the way. Not when I was there. Now, mind you, this was a while ago, so now it's become law. Here's hoping it works.
Yeah. We were driving in Saturday and sitting in traffic waiting for traffic to move. We saw an emergency vehicle in front of us make a U-turn around some cones, go to the other side of the street.
Oh, yeah.
He parked his car, got out, and went into a shoe store to shop.
But Dad's not bitter over this. This is a dad vent about driving in New York. So
I said to myself, are you for real? He parked his car in front of the store, which was no parking area anyway, because he had an emergency vehicle. He could park wherever he wants to park. He figured, I'm here. Looks like a sale. I'm going to shop.
mind you, we were sitting in traffic waiting to go forward.
And I'm looking at him and I said, I don't believe he did what he just did. Nonchalantly got out, licked on his ice cream cone, went to the store and started shopping. Well, I was just through.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Seriously? He stopped right in the middle of traffic, parked, turned around, and went into that store just to get some sneakers?
That's not all I said.
No, it's
because
not.
It'd be censored and probably
And
bleeped out.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't say the rest of it.
Anyway, I'm done. So, just wanted to get those things off my chest to let you know about the wonders of New York City and the other problems associated with getting to experience the wonders of New York City.
Drive into the city, ever.
First clue: most New Yorkers who live in the city don't own cars.
And take the subway and walk. It's a great walk. I love going into the city. But drive? Never. Never. Never.
Peace.
Tomorrow, review. What was I about to say? Shady Rest.
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow. I was about to say, I'll see you guys tomorrow.